Good morning guys, I thought I'd do another video on this Triathlon Mobility Daily for post-running routines, just because I feel like that's going to be quite a helpful area for a lot of you. So today we're going to focus on the areas that we didn't focus on in that first video. First and foremost, starting with our adductors, or right at the top of the hamstring just before the glute, and working our way on this inner thigh, because that's an area that's going to get really tight for a lot of runners and cyclists. And it's not an area you're really going to ever open out unless you do some of this self-myofascial release and stretching. So, starting on a chair, that's why I've got the chair today. Lacrosse ball, peanut ball, can use a roller, but that's going to be quite difficult to get into the muscle. I'm just going to position it just at the top, and I want to be just off the edge of this chair. That's why I've got the chair, because I want a flexed hip position. And I also want to be able to lever my weight forward so as to just expose those adductors, because they are quite tucked away. So I'm trying to just work it around. You can have a go at sort of moving the leg about a bit, focusing on any tight spots as ever. If I get this right onto the edge of this chair where it just rises up a little bit, that's even better. Then it just doesn't. That's it, yeah. So you've got to find that spot. You've got to try and find the areas that are sore, but then also where you can get enough weight onto the adductor. So that's where, for this spot in particular, I might just hold it there, breathe into it, completely relax down. I might just want to pitch forward with my spine. Keep your spine nice and neutral, so we're not sort of flexing around there. That's not the point. You want to almost think about pushing your bum back and then hinging forward at the hip. That's what's going to expose those adductors to the lacrosse ball. So working your way around, you can come onto the inside a little bit as well. Roughly 2 minutes on each side. Adding a little twist in there as well, just to get into the inside of the thigh. To anyone who didn't see that lacrosse ball go under my leg, this is going to look pretty weird if you skipped through the video and you just see me rub my ass up against the chair. Likewise, if you do this in a gym, it might also attract a few glances. Good, so when you're ready, just come onto the other side. That left leg in particular for me is a real sort of tender area, because I managed to tear a muscle in there while stretching, which just goes to show stretching is not the be all and end all. You've also got to be a bit smart with it. You can't just stretch the hell out of the muscle. That's why I'm incorporating a lot of myofascial release, this sort of stuff, as opposed to just standard static stretching. You kind of got to listen to your body, and that's pretty much what this series or what this channel is about. It's about listening to the body and giving it what it needs so that you can go out and perform every day. So same again, just trying to work around just on the area between the hamstring, or that hamstring insertion, and the glute. Find those tender spots, almost contract against it, and then just let it relax into it. Again, if you're not feeling that, just try to create a tall spine, hinge forward, then you'll feel it. Just move around the hips as well. Good, just last few seconds on this side. By all means, if you need a little bit longer, just pause that video. We've got a lot to get through today, so I'm just going to place that to one side. Alright, so I'm going to come into this 90-degree position with the hips, and I just want to hinge forward. Okay, so I'm keeping my spine nice and neutral. I'll show you from the side. Okay, I've still got that slight curve in my lower back. And you just go up with the hands into the shoulders into flexion. Take a big inhale and then sink down towards the floor. Okay, so I'm trying to keep my hips as high as possible. I'm trying to poke my ass up towards the ceiling. Walk it round to one side. Just kind of rolling onto the right hand side of this foot. Take a breath into the middle. Again, lift, tall spine, and then relax down. Walk it round to the left, roll onto the outside of that foot. So we're stretching those muscles that we just released with the cross ball. Coming back into the centre. Alright, so we're going to come down onto the mat. Just shuffle back so you can see me a little bit better on that camera. And I'm going to form a 90-90 position. So see if you can prop yourself nice and upright with both knees and hips at 90 degrees. I'm just going to take my left hand onto my right foot and then my right hand just off to the side here. So keeping a nice neutral spine. I'll show you from this side. We're just going to hinge forward. Okay, so you're just hovering that chest above the knee. Static stretch here, just holding that. It'll take roughly a minute on each side. So you can start to contract within this stretch by pushing the knee down into the floor and then lose that tension. Exhale into it, all the while not flexing the spine. You can even bring the hands away if you feel comfortable there. And what I'm going to do is just come up again and try and transfer this weight just turn round in towards this foot now. So same thing again, I'm trying to hover the chest over that leg. But this time it's going to dig a little bit more into your piriformis. So same principle, inhale, push that knee down into the floor, and then exhale, relax into it. This is more inner thigh, this is more that area that we were rolling out. Again, about a minute here. Slowly coming back up. We're going to transfer around to the other side into our 90-90. Okay, so form a nice solid position, hinging forward. So this time chest over the knee, feeling it in the glute. Pressing down with your knee on the inhale if you want to, and then losing all tension on the exhale. Good, just transfer over towards the foot now. Keep the legs where they are, keep the hips nice and rooted to the floor. Quite easy to slump in this position, but still try and keep that nice posture. Kind of just completely surrender to that stretch. Let the body completely relax into it. Before coming up nice and slowly. So we're going to finish up today with a Cossack squat. So I'm going to start standing, nice wide base of the feet. Get this out of the way. And at first I'm going to use my hands, come down towards the floor, and I'm just going to shift my weight into my right foot. Toe points up towards the ceiling. You can also just have a go pointing it forward, just to see how that stretch changes. See if you can bring the hands away. Bit of yoga going on here. Just digging that elbow into the right knee. Pushing it out over the toe. Transfer the weight over. Use the hands just to guide you over to one side. Okay, you're trying to keep your back as straight as possible. Inevitably it might sort of hunch over just slightly, just so you can keep balance, but try and keep that posture nice. If you find that this heel is coming up off the floor, you might want something to just place under it. Pointing that back toe forward. Point it back up. Transfer over, back over to the other side. So we're just going to keep it dynamic now. We can use the hands or we can just bring them away from the floor. Feel like you're in control as you sink down into it. You're not just sitting, you're actively pulling on the hip flexors to bring you down. Couple where the toes stay facing forward. And there you have it, guys. So that's the hips really taken care of there. If I do another video in this run series, focus on the upper body and the areas that need attention in the upper body and the ones that you don't necessarily think of post running. A little bit out of breath there after that Cossack squat. I'll see you back here tomorrow.